Now we will have another segment in spring at Raymond's garden. Yesterday I went around and I did some surface raking of the grass just to take the residual leaves off the grass, because I'm going to apply the first application of Scott's First Step program. In order to do that, I want to make sure that the fertilizer gets into the grass. While I was out here doing some residual cleaning, I also swept in front of the house along the curbstone, and there was one of my neighbors walking her dog, daily chore. Hello, how are you? Anyway, she walks on both sides of the street and enjoys the yard. So let's go over here and I'll show you exactly what I do for the first application of the Scott's Step 4 program. Now, in some cases in retail hardware stores, they will call it Step 1, 2, 3, and 4, but I went to Home Depot, and the first step is Scott's Turf Builder with Halts. It's a crabgrass preventer and some associated weeds. Now, what I use for after I raked the top of the grass, you might say the light raking, I use a Toro blower, and it's also a blower and a sucker vacuum cleaner combination. It's a very useful tool I've had for a number of years. Saves me an awful lot of bending over and energy, especially where I can't really use that much energy. I'll roughly show you what I do with the blower. I'm going to turn it on. It's going to be quite loud. You might not be able to hear me. But anyway, I turn on the blower and I blow all the grass, all of the surface leaves that are stuck in between the grass. In some places they really stick. And this way here, I will push the leaves into the corner where I have a mulch pile. And I will complete this a little later on. I just want to show you that here I have some of my hydrangeas that I grew from cuttings last year. So let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 in the pots right now. And altogether I have 23 hydrangeas planted all told. So there's another 16 or so right into the flower bed. They will come up a little bit later on. We'll show you how nicely they progress. But in any event, here's the mulch pile with the leaves, and these pots here I buried into the soil to keep them from freezing. What I did also is I saved a lot of the sod that I dug up for expanding the flower beds last year, and I created this pile that I can later use as loam. It's very valuable soil. I mean, loam is at a premium, so never throw out your loam. Try to save it. So I have 3 piles here. I have the sod, I have here sifted loam in the middle, and in the corner I have the leaves that are going to turn into a bit of a compost pile. After a while they will degrade. Now my mother-in-law bought a AccuGreen Scott's spreader many years ago before she died. This was probably in 1996, but I'm the beneficiary of her tool here. Here I inserted a full bag of Scott's Turf Builder with the halts in it, and you see it's a nice little orange pellets. I'll pick that up a little bit. One thing I forgot to mention why I rake is to get surface modules off the grass, because I'm going to be changing the blade on the lawnmower. I do this, I change the blade twice a year, have it sharpened. I have a hand sharpener that came with the mower many years ago, and I use gloves when I'm dealing with the yard so I don't get any infection. And also it's smart to do that so you don't pick up anything like poison ivy or whatever might be there. Now what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to show you this, but I'm going to take this spreader and go all along the edge of the grass, up and down, to form a perimeter, and then come back and fill in the middle. The reason you go around the edges is to get a clean shot of laying down the fertilizer. And then when I go over to the front of the house, I'll do the same thing. I'll go along the sidewalk and I'll put a path down, two spreads with overlapping wheels. So you might see the difference in the lawn in the coming weeks. Well, I did all the front, both sides, and now I'm in the back. I'm sitting on the back porch steps taking a breather. This is the fourth breather I'm taking. This is too much. But I'll show you, if you can see, right down here in the grass, the orange little pebbles there, that's the fertilizer. And over here is one of the sprinkler heads that will be activated when the irrigation people come. I needed an irrigation system because it was getting to be too much in my old age to go around watering everything, and this ended up being the most economical. One reason is the cost of water. In my area, for every gallon of water you consume or bring into the house, there's a surcharge for the water going out in the way of an MWRA, the Massachusetts Resource Authority, something like that. They charge for the cleaning of the environment. So they have this huge tanks in East Boston where they clean the water and then release it out into the ocean, which is very nice. But it's a tremendous cost. So I had a plumber come in. He put in a second meter to meter the water that's used to water the lawn and wash the car and everything else. So it ended up being more economical in the long run. The initial investment was substantial. I got a little bit of help with that, but I had to pay for most of it. But in any event, this is where I am right now, in the back, putting down the fertilizer on the back of the lawn. We are expecting some precipitation either tomorrow or the day after. Now this application goes down dry, this particular one, but they suggest that you water it 2 to 3 days after applying it, or wait for some rain, so you could get about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of rain. That will really work. Now this particular application will address itself towards the crabgrass, which is an unsightly little grass that grows in many lawns, and I try to keep the crabgrass down and at the same time fertilize the lawn. When I do the next segment, you'll see how green the lawn will get, and then maybe we'll have a few other things available. It all depends how far we get. Well, my break is over, my water break. I have a little bottle that I fill up, and this is purified drinking water out of my kitchen sink. You know, those water bottles cost too much. I mean, like $1.29 to $2 a bottle, and they probably use the very same water, the high quality water that we get out of the Quabbon Reservoir in central Massachusetts, which has been around for many, many years. And Milton is blessed to have access to the Quabbon Reservoir water. So in many ways, although things cost a lot, we also benefit from that. So we'll be back with another installment shortly. I hope you enjoyed your visit to Raymond's Garden.